to another segment of Our Voice, Our Opinion. Today it's just the girls for a little bit. And we're going to talk about, and that's what we want to talk about, just girls. You know, this mean girl syndrome. I was talking to a parent, and she was upset because her little girl, young girl, maybe about 10, 11 years old, was being, you know, not picked on, but, you know, she was being left out or made fun, you know, not necessarily even made fun of, just sort of not included in. And she was like, well, if they won't do this and you don't, you know, invite them to this or that and the other. And when I spoke with her, I was like, well, you know what? It's the way of girls. You know, you sort of have to let them learn to deal with it because
it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. And it starts so young. And I kind of wanted us to talk about that because both of us work with young people on a regular basis, and they sort of look up to us, and they talk with us in different ways. I even have daughters now, so, and I want to raise nice girls. I want to raise girls that develop sisterhoods versus enemies, because I remember elementary school and high school. Oh my goodness, girls hated me.
If you raise girls with confidence, I think a lack of confidence is where that starts. Because you think about most girls that are picking on other girls. Usually, it's, you know, at the very elementary level, it's either popularity or insecurity,
right?
Or sometimes the combination of both.
Yes.
And you pick on or are mean to the girl that's different, the outsider,
right.
The easy target. She may not look like everyone else. She may not act like everyone else. And usually the person you pick on is a low self-esteem person, because very rarely can you pick on a person who has a quick, flashy tongue, who comebacks.
Right.
You assimilate because you don't want that person calling you out.
Right.
So one thing I would first teach my girls would be kind of a tough love. You know, if she has something to say to you, you don't have to be mean, but just stand your ground and hold your own.
Yes.
You don't have to conform to popularity standards. Just be you, because then they end up becoming who you are.
Right.
That's when, and I don't have a daughter, but I think that's also lived in the lifestyle that we as women live, because our children are going to listen to what we say, but they're also going to look at how we act.
Yes, they are. And the thing is, those little girls grow up to be big girls. And if you work in an office setting with a bunch of women, does it change?
No, it doesn't.
It does not change. And that's my thing. And the thing is that it's being portrayed in our media as the norm. It's the good thing. You know, you got the housewives of Atlanta, the housewives of this, that, and the other. They fighting, they cussing, and girls can't get along, and they're bickering back and forth and talking about each other behind their back. Like that's what you're supposed to do. And we're inundated with that constantly.
But it's the difference between the Nenes of the world, and that's Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, she's a main character now because I think she's become mainstream, being with Dancing with the Stars, and her character being the embellished, typical black woman. But then you look at the Oprahs, and then you look at the Michelle Obamas. Those women aren't in the press in the same, or even in the same type of press or same type of arena.
They're not.
But who gets more attention?
That's what I'm saying. Who gets more attention?
So it's the stereotype that we're perpetuating, that this is the typical black woman, and this is the acceptable norm.
Right.
But we don't necessarily amplify or project the woman that is, and reserved isn't even it.
Right.
That is a lady, an elegant in her own being. And if you're going to handle your business, because I'm sure Michelle can get down with the best of them.
Right.
But it's not in the arena in which it's forecasted that this is the only way that I know how to problem solve.
Or to communicate.
You're right.
I really wanted to do this segment simply because I feel like the development of sisterhood is being just demolished. And I'm saddened about that because the fighting and the bickering is being pushed so much by our media. You have so many people, I've heard it tons and tons of times. I have one good girlfriend that I can depend on, and that's not a bad thing. But I feel sad because I can think just off the top of my head of 5 women that I consider to be my sisters, that I can go to, that I can depend on, and I feel that I am best friends with all of them, the best of friends. We care about each other. No, we don't talk every day, but we care about each other. We're concerned about each other. And there's so much power in developing that sisterhood. And instead of constantly being bombarded with the bickering and the backbiting and the putting down, we need, as women of influence with other young people, I think that there needs to be more seen about sisterhood, developing those relationships, because there's so much power in those. I find so much power in knowing that I have strong women who are going to be there for me. Even if I fall, if I'm wrong, they're going to tell me I'm wrong.
So I think it goes back to a couple of things. I think it's okay to say we don't have that much in common.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So instead of, we talk about those who we don't have a lot in common with because we really don't understand their situation. Mm-hmm. But it's okay to say we don't really run in the same circles, but I respect you for the woman that you are and your set of circumstances. But I get along better, have more in common with this particular group of ladies. I think the other important thing is when we talk about sisterhood, so often as a young person, I think the only thing our young black women know about sisterhood are sororities. That's where they think about sisterhood. They don't understand that it is simply based on relationships. You don't need a formalized organization to bring you together. Right. Because even within that, you have different personalities, and then you have the 2 popular words, AKAs and deltas. Even they're it's all Greek, but then you still have that, between the 2.
We're the,
and so it's just like at the end of the day, it's really about your personality. What are you trying to achieve in life? Who are the women that you can align yourself with that will help you, who will be your stepping stone when you need a helping hand, when you need to step up. But those women who will be honest with you and love you. And that doesn't come in a formalized situation. So I really think it's about how we teach love, how we convey love, and how we convey respect, even though we may not always agree, is what it comes down to.
Exactly what I'm saying. And hey, if you want to weigh in on this conversation, talk with the girls, please do so. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.